Somebody at the door? All right! That's exactly what I've been waiting for. What's up, riders? Old Man Ronin here. Welcome back to the channel. Well, if you can see, we've got something to put together today. It's the Black Widow Steel Deluxe motorcycle carrier. And if you remember a couple episodes ago, we were in Florida. Well, guess what? This is what we used to take the Royal Enfield Himalayan down to that beautiful area of Cedar Key. And it was a lot of fun. I didn't expect my wife to ride two up with me down all the way down to Florida from Ohio. So I contacted discountramps.com, which is the manufacturer of Black Widow motorcycle carriers, and I purchased one. I didn't get this for free. I didn't get a discount. I bought it full price. So, and I think I can use this for hauling the Sportsters around too. It's a little too light for the Deluxe or for the Dyna or even for the, especially for the Road King. It's got a 600-pound rating. And those motorcycles, the Sportsters, are right up there at 500 plus pounds. The Royal Enfield is only 400 pounds unloaded, so it fits right in the realm of what we need it for. So what we're going to do is we're going to put this thing together, so enjoy the upcoming video. Tools needed for this operation are simple. A large screwdriver, a 13mm socket and wrench, a 17mm wrench, a 19mm wrench and socket, and of course the instructions. And I prefer to use thread locker on almost everything I do with a motorcycle. The first thing they want us to do is to take these plates and bolt them to the main frame here with 3/4 inch long 13mm bolts and nuts. So we're going to do that right now. So I purposely left the brackets loose, so that way when I go to the next step I can make sure everything fits without being too tight. You know, sometimes you need to wiggle things around to make sure they go in properly, so I left it loose on purpose, didn't put any thread locker on as yet, and then we're going to move to the next step, which revolves around the main carrier frame, which fits into the tube that goes into your trailer hitch. And what they want to make sure you understand is there's small holes at the top and large holes at the bottom. They emphasize over and over again that the small holes has to face forward. And then you place it down in the on the top tube, and then add 4 of these 3-inch bolts that are still 13mm. Let's do that right now. Well, we might have a problem. It just doesn't seem right. Let me show you what I'm talking about. I'll go over here and grab the camera. As you can see, it seems to have a not sitting directly on top of the main carrier tube. That doesn't seem right to me. We'll make a few phone calls.
3 days later.
Well, it's been a few days. So we're back in the shop, and I made a few phone calls. I talked to the customer service. Great people out there at Black Widow or discountramps.com, which I'll put a link in the description. And they told me that that's kind of the normal for this. And I said, you know, hey, I want to make sure, because I don't want to ruin any motorcycle that I put on it. I mean, the rating is 600 pounds, and most of my bikes, other than the Road King, are right there at under 600 pounds, particularly Sportsters and the Royal Enfield, obviously. But they said that should have no worries whatsoever, and they guaranteed that it would not fail on me riding down the road. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go back, and I'm going to put the thread locker on here, and we're going to bolt everything up. So that's what we're going to do right now. The next step revolves around putting the tie-down tubes inside of the carrier frame and then attaching them with these 3-inch bolts that have a little sleeve on it to the carrier track. And that's what we're going to do now. I wanted to take a moment and pause to make you understand that this sleeve has to slide in that larger hole that's on the bottom of the main carrier frame, and then when it tightens up it gives it a space and keeps it from rattling back and forth. So this is a critical part, and so I wanted to, before I actually put them on and put the Loctite on, show you that before you put this thing tight, make sure that these little sleeves, which are going to be inside of the larger hole in the bottom of the carrier frame. So let's continue. Of course, I forgot to mention, that was the place for the 19-inch socket and wrench. So we'll move on to the next part. The next step revolves around installing the front tire stop and the rear tire cradle to the main carrier plate. So let's try that. But I'm not going to use any Loctite because I may have to change the position. That's why they give you several holes in the front here. May have to change the position, so we're not going to put a Loctite on it yet until we actually pull the motorcycle up on top of it to see exactly how it fits. The next thing we're going to do is attach the tie downs to the tie down tubes, and this is where your screwdriver will come in, because that way you can fit your the screwdriver in the hole and make sure that it runs straight. And when you want to be finished, you want to have them at this perspective right there. So let's get that done. Now all that's left is to put the loading ramp on, put the little wing nuts on it, and we're finished except for installing it on the vehicle. Well, there you have it. It's completely installed except for on the vehicle, and before I do anything more and go finish tightening up these bolts, I'm going to put it on the vehicle and run the motorcycle up on it and see how she fits. So stay tuned. Well, here's how she looks loaded with the Royal Enfield Himalayan, and that's exactly how we took it to Florida. All tied down and ready to go. Yeah, it worked well. Well, I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give us a big thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe, hit that bell notification button, share, and comment. You know I read all the comments, and comment as much as I possibly can. Until next time, ride safe and keep her on two wheels, baby.